Money isn't just numbers in an app or figures on a statement. It's choices. It's time. It's peace of mind when the unexpected arrives, freedom when an opportunity knocks, and quiet confidence knowing tomorrow's version of you is taken care of. Most of us weren't taught how to make money work for us. We learn to earn it, spend it, worry about it, but rarely how to direct it with calm intention. That changes now. This audiobook isn't about getting rich quick or living on rice and beans forever. It's about building simple, kind habits that fit real life, your life, so you stop feeling like money controls you and start feeling like you control it. We'll walk together, step by gentle step, from awareness to budgeting, safety nets to automation, debt freedom to steady growth, protection to meaningful giving. No jargon, no guilt, just clear, friendly guidance you can actually use. Your financial life doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be yours, and moving in the right direction. Turn the page. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Calm Power of Financial Discipline. Imagine waking up in the morning, checking your phone, and feeling steady instead of worried when you see your bank balance. Bills are covered, a small safety net is growing, and another portion of your money is quietly working for you in investments. That sense of calm is not magic or luck. It comes from financial discipline. Financial discipline doesn't mean punishing yourself or giving up everything you love. It means making thoughtful choices most days so your future becomes lighter and more open. Think of it like drinking water or getting enough sleep. You don't always feel excited about it in the moment, but you do it because you know it protects you and helps you feel better over time. This audiobook is your friendly companion on the journey. We'll use plain words, everyday examples, and small steps that fit into real life. No complicated math, no guilt trips, just clear ideas you can actually use. Each chapter builds on the last, so you feel like you're walking forward one easy piece at a time. Let's begin with the heart of the matter. Why financial discipline matters and why it's often harder than it should be. Our brains are amazing, but they're not built for modern money. Thousands of years ago, finding food today was way more important than saving berries for next winter. That same wiring still lives inside us. We feel a rush from buying something right now, a new shirt, dinner out, the latest gadget, while saving for later feels distant and abstract. That's not a character flaw. It's biology. Financial discipline is simply training your brain to care about future you as much as present you. When you transfer $50 to savings instead of spending it, you're quietly telling tomorrow's version of yourself, I've got your back. The beautiful part? Every time you make one of those small, wise choices, your brain gets a little stronger. The action starts feeling more natural. After a few weeks or months, those little decisions add up into real security and freedom. So what does financial discipline look like in normal daily life? It looks like knowing where your money goes each month without panic, having a simple plan for saving and investing that doesn't feel overwhelming, saying no to some impulse buys without feeling like you're missing out forever, moving money to savings or investments before you spend anything else, building easy habits so you don't have to fight yourself every single day. You don't need to do every one of these perfectly right away. Pick one or two that feel possible today. That's more than enough to start. A lot of people picture discipline as extreme frugality, never eating out, wearing old clothes, living on the cheapest food. That's not the point here. The real point is freedom. Freedom to take a trip when the opportunity comes. Freedom to leave a job that's hurting your health. Freedom to help someone you love. Freedom to stop working at some point because you want to, not because you have to. Financial discipline is the quiet bridge that carries you from where you are now to where you want to be in 5, 10, or 20 years. The very first building block is awareness. You can't change what you don't see clearly. Start by tracking your spending, not to judge yourself, but to understand yourself. For the next week or two, write down every single expense. Coffee, groceries, rent, streaming services, everything. Use your phone notes, a small notebook, or whatever feels easiest. No fancy system needed yet. Just watch. No criticism. This simple act turns on a light in a room that's been dark. You begin to notice. Wow, eating out adds up faster than I thought. I forgot about those automatic subscriptions. I spend small amounts almost every day without realizing it. That awareness alone usually makes people naturally tighten up a little. You don't even have to force it. The seeing changes the behavior. Once you have a clearer picture, the next powerful move is to pay yourself first. This habit is simple but life-changing. As soon as you get paid, move a portion, any portion, to savings or investments before you pay anyone else. Even 5% or 3% or 1% counts. Set it on autopilot so the money leaves your main account before you can think too much about it. When you pay yourself first, you train your brain to live on what's left instead of trying to save whatever happens to remain at the end of the month. Almost nobody has money left at the end unless they create the system on purpose. If 10% feels too big right now, start with whatever feels safe and doable. The habit matters more than the amount in the beginning. You can always increase it later when it feels comfortable. Now a quick word about investing, because many people freeze here. You might have heard things like the market is too risky, or investing is only for rich people. Those ideas keep a lot of regular people on the sidelines. The truth is simpler. Investing is putting some of your money in places that have a good chance of growing over many years instead of letting it sit and lose value to inflation. You don't need thousands to begin. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to start small, choose low-cost and simple options, and stay patient. Later chapters will walk you through the easiest and calmest ways to do this. For now, just remember, saving protects you today, investing helps you grow for tomorrow. One last gentle reminder before we close this chapter. Please be kind to yourself. Money is emotional for almost everyone. When people first look honestly at their spending or debt, shame often shows up. Shame wants to hide the problem or make you quit. Kindness does the opposite. It gives you space to breathe and take one small step. You are not behind. You are not bad with money. You're simply a person who is now learning clearer habits and systems. That decision alone deserves quiet respect. Your very first invitation is small and friendly. This week, choose one easy action. Track every expense for a few days. Just watch, no fixing yet. Set up one tiny automatic transfer to savings, even $5 or $10, cancel one subscription or small recurring charge. You don't really need to write down one personal reason you want more financial discipline, peace of mind, travel, helping family, early freedom, whatever feels true. Pick whichever one feels lightest today. Do it. Then give yourself a moment of appreciation. You've already started by being here. The path gets smoother with every step. Chapter 2. Creating a simple budget that actually fits your real life. Now that you've started paying attention to where your money goes and maybe even moved a small amount to savings automatically, it's time to bring a little more structure, without turning your life into a math exam. We are going to build a simple budget that feels like it was made for you, not against you. The goal is clarity and calm, not restriction. A budget is really just a plan for your money that matches your actual life. It answers two honest questions. What matters most to me right now? Where is my money actually going? When those two answers line up, you stop feeling like money is slipping through your fingers. That's the magic we are aiming for. Forget complicated spreadsheets with 50 categories. Most people do beautifully with just 4 or 5 main buckets. Here's a gentle, real-life version that works for the majority of people in the United States. We'll use dollars throughout this audiobook. The 4-bucket framework. Essentials, usually 50 to 60% of your take-home pay. This is the stuff you truly need to keep life running. Rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, basic phone and internet, transportation, gas, bus pass, car payment if you have one, minimum debt payments, and health insurance costs if they come out of your paycheck, savings and future you, ideally 10 to 20% or whatever you can start with. This bucket includes your emergency fund, extra debt payoff beyond minimums, retirement accounts, and any other long-term goals, house down payment, education, travel fund, etc. This is where you pay yourself first. Debt payoff. If you have debt beyond a small mortgage, if you're carrying credit card balances, personal loans, or car loans with high interest, this bucket gets money after essentials but before fun. We'll talk more about smart debt payoff later. Enjoyment, lifestyle, the rest, usually 20 to 30%. This is the money for dining out, hobbies, streaming services, clothes, weekend activities, gifts, coffee runs, everything that makes life feel good and human. This bucket is not the enemy. It's part of the plan. Why only 4 buckets? Because too many categories make people quit. When you have just a handful, you can actually see the whole picture in one glance. Here's an example using a realistic take-home pay of $3,800 per month, after taxes. This is a common net amount for many single people or couples in the US earning around $55,000 to $70,000 a year. Essentials, $2,000 to $2,300, 53 to 60%. Rent, mortgage, $1,200 groceries, $400 utilities plus internet, $220 transportation, $180 phone, $80 health costs, insurance, $100, $200 savings and future, $380 to $760, 10 to 20%. Emergency fund, $150 retirement, 401k or IRA, $150 other goals, vacation, car, etc. $80 $460 debt payoff, $300, if applicable, extra toward credit card or student loan enjoyment lifestyle, $800 to $1,100, 21 to 29%. Eating out, entertainment, hobbies, subscriptions, clothes, small treats. The numbers above are just an illustration. Your life might look very different, and that's perfectly fine. The percentages are flexible. What matters is that you assign every dollar a job before the month begins. How to make your own simple budget in real life. Step 1. Know your real take-home pay. Look at your last 2 or 3 paychecks. Add up what actually lands in your checking account, after taxes, health insurance, 401k contributions, etc. That number is your 100%. Write it down. Step 2. List your essentials. First, go back to the tracking you started in Chapter 1. Pull out the non-negotiable bills and living costs. Write them in one list. If something is missing, like car insurance that comes every 6 months, divide it by 6 and add that monthly amount so it doesn't surprise you later. Step 3. Decide your minimum savings percentage, even if it's only 5% right now. Name it. Write the dollar amount. If your take-home is $3,200, 5% is $160. That's your starting point. Celebrate it. It's real progress. Step 4. Handle debt next. If you have high-interest debt, list any balances with interest rates above 7 to 8%. Decide on the smallest extra payment you can make beyond the minimum. Even $50 to $100 extra makes a difference over time. Step 5. Fill the enjoyment bucket with what's left. Whatever remains after essentials, savings, and minimum debt payments goes here. This is not leftover money to feel guilty about. It's intentionally planned joy and flexibility. Step 6. Adjust until it feels honest. If the enjoyment number feels too small to live on, go back and look for small trims in essentials. Could you cook one more night a week? Share a streaming account? Lower the thermostat a degree? Tiny changes can free up $50 to $150 a month without changing your lifestyle much. A quick real-life example of adjustments. Maria's take-home pay is $3,500. At first her budget looked like this. Essentials $2,600, too high, savings $100, too low, debt $300, enjoyment $500, felt tight. She made these small, doable changes. Reduced eating out from 8 times to 4 times a month, saved $140, switched to a cheaper phone plan. Saved $30, asked for a roommate to split utilities, saved $80. Now her budget breathes better. Essentials $2, $350, savings $350, debt $300, enjoyment $500. Same take-home pay, but she feels in control instead of stretched. Tools that keep it simple. You don't need fancy software. Here are the easiest options people actually stick with. A notebook or the Notes app on your phone. Write the 4 buckets and the dollar amounts. Update once a month. A simple spreadsheet, Google Sheets or Excel, 1 page, for rows. Done. Free budgeting apps that focus on simplicity many people love. Good Budget, Envelope Style, YNAB, if you want to learn more later, or even the basic budgeting feature in your bank app. Pick whatever feels least intimidating. The best tool is the one you'll open without dread. One last gentle principle. Your budget is allowed to change. Life is not static. Rent increases, a car breaks down, you get a raise, a friend has a baby and you want to give a nice gift. When things change, you simply adjust the buckets. That's not failure, that's wisdom. Think of your budget as a living plan, not a permanent law. You review it every month or two. Ask, does this still feel like my real life? And make small updates. That regular check-in is what keeps the system working year after year. You've now got the foundation, awareness from Chapter 1 and a clear, simple spending plan from this chapter. You're building momentum. The next steps will make everything feel even more automatic and peaceful. Chapter 3. Building your emergency fund. The safety net that brings peace. Picture this. Your car won't start on a Monday morning. The repair bill comes to $800. And instead of feeling your stomach drop, you take a slow breath, open your banking app, and transfer the money from a separate savings account. No panic. No credit card. No begging a friend for help. That quiet moment of relief is exactly what an emergency fund delivers. It's not glamorous, but it might be the single most peaceful thing you can build with your money. An emergency fund is cash set aside for life's unexpected hits. The ones that aren't fun but are almost guaranteed to happen eventually. Things like job loss or reduced hours, medical bills, or urgent dental work, major car or home repairs, replacing a broken appliance that you rely on everyday travel for a family emergency. These aren't want expenses. They're have to handle right now expenses. Without a dedicated fund, most people cover them with debt, which then creates months or years of extra stress and interest payments. With the fund in place, you handle the surprise and keep moving forward. How much should you aim for? The classic advice is 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses. That's a solid long-term target, but it can feel huge when you're just starting. Here's a kinder, step-by-step way to think about it. Start a goal. $1,000. This small cushion covers most minor emergencies, flat tire, Dr. Copery, small appliance fix, and gives you breathing room to begin the bigger build. Next milestone. 1 month of essentials. If your monthly essentials, from your Chapter 2 budget, are $2,200, aim for $2,200 to $2,500 in the fund comfort zone. 3 months of essentials for most single people or couples without kids. This feels like real peace. Using the earlier example of $2,200 essentials, that's $600. Full security, 6 months, or more, ideal if you have one income, variable work, health concerns, or live in a high-cost area. Some people go to 9 to 12 months when they really want maximum calm. You don't have to hit the full amount before you feel the benefits. Even $500 or $1,000 starts changing how you think about money. The stress level drops noticeably. Where should the money live? Keep it safe, easy to access, and separate from your everyday checking account. Good options in the US right now include high-yield savings account, HYSA. These often pay 4 to 5% interest, sometimes more, and your money is still FDIC insured up to $250,000. Popular ones include Ally, Capital One 360, Sophie, Marcus by Goldman Sachs, or Discover. Shop around once a year for the best rate. Online-only banks or credit unions, they usually offer higher interest than big traditional banks and still give quick transfers, 1 to 3 days. Avoid these places for your emergency fund. Your regular checking account, too easy to spend. Investments like stocks, too volatile for short-term needs. CDS, penalties if you need the money early. Cash hidden at home, no interest, risk of loss or theft. Set it and forget it. Almost. The easiest way to build the fund is the same way we talked about paying yourself first. Automation. Open the separate high-yield savings account if you don't have one. Link it to your main checking account. Set up an automatic transfer on payday or right after direct deposit hits. Start small. $25, $50, $100 per paycheck. Whatever fits your current budget. Name the account something motivating like peace of mind, safety net, or calm fund. It sounds silly, but it helps psychologically. If a windfall comes in, tax refund, bonus, birthday cash, side gig money, send a big chunk straight to the emergency fund. These one-time boosts can jumpstart progress. What if you already have some savings? Great. Decide how much of it is truly for emergencies versus other goals: vacation, new phone, holiday gifts. Move the emergency portion to the dedicated account right away. Seeing it separated makes it feel more real and protected. A common worry: what if I use it? That's the point. It's there to be used when you really need it. If a true emergency hits, spend from the fund without guilt. Then, treat rebuilding it like a high-priority bill. Pause extra investing or fund spending temporarily until the fund is back to your target level. Most people rebuild faster than they expect because the habit is already in place. Real stories from everyday people. Jamal started with $0 and $50 per paycheck. After 14 months, he had $1,400. When his water heater failed, $1,200 repair, he paid cash and slept well that night. Sophia aimed for $5,000, about 2 months of her essentials. She hit it in 2.5 years by putting 70% of every raise and side income into the fund. Last year her job cut hours for 3 months. She covered everything and never touched credit cards. Even small wins count. Maria kept $800 aside. A sudden $600 vet bill for her dog didn't derail her month. That alone made her feel stronger about money than ever before. Your emergency fund isn't about predicting disaster. It's about refusing to let surprise expenses control your life or force you into debt. Each dollar you add is like buying a little more freedom and calm. Your action step for this chapter. Pick your starting target, $500, $1,000, or 1 month of essentials, and decide on one small, automatic transfer you can set up this week. Even $20 or $30 counts. Do it, then say out loud, or write down, "This is for my peace." That tiny ritual helps lock in the habit. You're now 3 chapters in, you're paying attention, you have a simple budget that fits your real life, and you're building, or planning, the safety net that turns what if worries into I've got this confidence. The foundation is solid. Next we make the whole system run smoother with almost no daily effort. Chapter 4. Automating your money. Making discipline easy and almost automatic. You've already laid down some strong groundwork. You're tracking where your dollars go. You have a simple 4-bucket budget that reflects your real life. And you're either building or planning that precious emergency fund. Now comes one of the most powerful shifts of all. Moving from trying to be disciplined every single day to setting things up once so discipline happens without you thinking about it. Automation is the secret that turns good intentions into consistent results. When money moves automatically to the right places right after you get paid, you remove most of the daily willpower battles. Your brain doesn't get tired from constant decisions, and the important things get done before temptation has a chance to show up. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't negotiate with yourself every morning. You just do it because the system, toothbrush on the sink, habit wired in, makes it automatic. We can do the same with money. Why automation works so well? It happens first. Money leaves your checking account before you can spend it on something else. It removes emotion. No debating, should I save this week? The transfer already happened. It builds momentum quietly. Small consistent actions compound over months and years. It protects future you from present you's impulses. We all have them. Most banks and credit unions in the US make this free and easy. You set it up once, and it runs forever unless you change it. Option B. Debt snowball. build psychological momentum, pay minimums on everything, then put extra toward the smallest balance first, regardless of interest rate. The quick wins create motivation to keep going. Once the smallest is gone, roll its payment to the next smallest. Same debts as above. Start with card B, $2,800. Pay it off quickest, huge emotional boost, more energy to tackle the bigger ones. Which is better? The one you'll actually stick with. If seeing balances drop fast keeps you motivated, go snowball. If you're numbers driven and want to save the most on interest, go avalanche. You can even blend them. Many people start with snowball for quick wins, then switch to avalanche. Step 3. Find extra money without feeling deprived. You don't need a huge raise to make progress. Look for small, repeatable ways to free up cash. Trim 1 or 2 enjoyment items temporarily, eating out once less per week, pause a subscription, $50 to $150 per month. Sell things you don't use. Clothes, electronics, furniture via apps like Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, one-time boosts of $200 1,000 side income, even 5 to 10 hours month driving, freelancing, pet sitting, tutoring. $200 to $500 extra. Use windfalls wisely. Tax refund, work bonus, gift money, send 100% to debt. Negotiate bills, call cable, internet, phone providers, many lower rates if you ask politely. $20 to $80 per month savings. Add these to your automatic transfers from Chapter 4 so the extra flows straight to debt. Step 4. Lower interest rates when possible. High interest, especially 15% plus, is the real enemy. Explore these options. Balance transfer to a 0% intro April card, if your credit allows, usually 12 to 21 months promo. Pay aggressively during the promo period. Personal loan consolidation at lower fixed rate. Credit unions often have good rates. Hardship programs. Many credit card companies offer temporary lower rates or payment plans if you call and explain your situation honestly. Nonprofit credit counseling. Look for nfcc.org members. They can negotiate rates and create a debt management plan. Be careful with new debt to pay old debt. Only do it if the math clearly helps and you stop using the old cards. Step 5. Protect your emergency fund. Remember the fund from Chapter 3? Keep building it, even slowly, while paying debt. Why? Because if another emergency hits and you have no cash buffer, you'll likely add more debt. A $1,000 starter fund is usually enough to protect your progress while you attack higher interest debt. Real stories to keep hope alive. Alex had $18,000 in credit card debt at 22% average interest. He used the avalanche method, cut eating out, started a weekend delivery side gig, and paid it off in 28 months. His monthly payment went from feeling impossible to feeling like freedom. Priya owed $9,000 across 3 cards. She chose Snowball, knocked out the $1,200 balance first in 4 months. That win gave her energy to keep going. She was debt-free in 2 years. Even slower progress counts. Mark paid $50 extra per month on a $7,000 student loan. It took longer, but he never missed a payment and felt in control instead of overwhelmed. Track your progress monthly. Every month, update your list. Celebrate every dollar paid off, every balance that drops, every time you chose not to add new debt. Take a photo of the shrinking numbers or mark a calendar. These small proofs build belief that it's working. One final gentle truth. You are allowed to enjoy life while paying debt. You don't have to live on rice and beans forever. Keep a small enjoyment bucket so you don't burn out. A $10 coffee with a friend or a $20 movie night can recharge you to stay consistent. Debt payoff is a marathon, not a punishment. Your actions step this chapter. This week, do 2 simple things. Make your full debt list, balances, rates, minimums. Choose Avalanche or Snowball. Then decide on one small extra payment you can automate or commit to this month. Even $25 counts. Write down why you want to be debt-free. Peace at night, more options, teaching kids better habits, whatever feels true. Read it when motivation dips. Debt doesn't define you. The way you face it does. You've already shown courage by being here and facing it head-on. Every payment moves you closer to the day when those statements stop coming, and your money starts working fully for you. Chapter 6. The Power of Compound Growth. How your money can work harder than you do. By now you've built real momentum. You're paying close attention to your spending, you have a budget that actually fits your days, an emergency fund is growing, or at least planned. Your money moves automatically to the right places, and if debt was weighing you down, you're chipping away at it with steady steps. That's no small thing. Now we get to one of the most exciting parts of financial discipline. Letting time and compound growth do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. Compound growth is often called the eighth wonder of the world, and for good reason. It's not flashy or complicated. It's simply your money earning money, and then that new money earning even more money, over and over again. The longer it has to work, the bigger the snowball gets. Here's the basic idea in everyday words. You put $100 into an investment that earns 7% per year, a reasonable long-term average for a balanced stock market fund. After 1 year, $100 becomes $107. Year 2, that $107 earns another 7%. So you end up with about $114.49. You didn't add any more money. The extra $14.49 came from growth on growth. Do that for 10 years and your original $100 turns into about $197. For 20 years, around $387. For 30 years, roughly $761. For 40 years, over $1,490. That's the power. The early years feel slow, but the later years speed up dramatically because you're earning returns on bigger and bigger amounts. Time becomes your best friend. Now imagine you don't just put in $100 once. You add regularly, like the automatic transfers we set up in Chapter 4. Even small, consistent additions create massive results over decades. Let's look at a realistic example using US dollars. Suppose you're 30 years old and you start putting $200 per month, $2,400 per year, into a retirement account that grows at an average of 7% per year, after inflation and fees. This is achievable with simple, low-cost index funds. After 10 years, age 40 you've put in $24,000 total, but it's grown to about $35,000 after 20 years. Age 50 you've contributed $48,000, but the balance is around $105,000 after 30 years. Age 60 contributions total $72,000, balance around $245,000 after 35 years. Age 65 you've added $84,000 over time, but thanks to compounding, you could have close to $380,000 to $400,000. That last jump from age 60 to 65 shows how powerful the later years are. Your money is working much harder than you ever could by yourself. The 3 ingredients that make compound growth work best. Start as early as possible, even tiny amounts. A 25-year-old who invests $100 a month for 40 years at 7% ends up with far more than a 45-year-old who invests $400 a month for 20 years, even though the older person puts in more total money. Time is the multiplier. Be consistent regular contributions. Automatic is best. Beat trying to time the market or waiting for the perfect moment. Let it grow. Don't touch it early. The longer your money stays invested, the more compounding happens. Withdrawals reset the clock and cost you future growth. What kind of returns can you realistically expect? Historical averages, after inflation, for a diversified stock-heavy portfolio, have been around 6 to 8% per year over long periods. We use 7% as a calm, middle-of-the-road number for planning. Some years the market goes up 20%, others it drops 20%, but over 20 to 30 years, the ups and downs smooth out into that steady climb. Inflation matters too. If something costs $100 today, it might cost $150 in 20 years at 2 to 3% inflation. That's why just saving in a regular account, even a high-yield one, isn't enough long-term. Your purchasing power shrinks. Investing gives your money a chance to outrun inflation. A quick note on risk. Compound growth shines brightest in investments that have some ups and downs, like stocks or stock funds. Yes, the value can drop in the short term, sometimes a lot. But history shows that staying invested through the dips rewards patience. That's why we keep emergency funds in safe places, savings accounts, and only invest money we won't need for 5, 10 plus years. Your first investing step doesn't have to be scary or huge. If you have access to a workplace retirement plan like a 401k, start there. Contribute enough to get the full employer match if one exists. That's free money, often 50 to 100% match on the first 3 to 6% you put in. Even 1 to 3% of your pay is a great beginning. Increase it 1% every year or with every raise. If no workplace plan, or after maxing the match, open a Roth IRA or traditional IRA at a low-cost provider. Popular easy options. Vanguard, Fidelity, Charles Schwab. These let you invest in simple, low-fee index funds or target date funds, which automatically adjust as you get older. Start with as little as $50 to $100 per month. One beautiful truth: you don't need to be perfect. Miss a month? Life happens. The key is getting back on track. A few skipped contributions won't ruin decades of growth, but stopping entirely will. Think of compound growth like planting a tree. The first few years you mostly just water it and protect it. Nothing dramatic happens above ground. But keep going, and one day you look up and see real shade. Your younger self did the planting. Your older self gets to enjoy the rest. Your action step this chapter. Pick one small, doable move to start, or increase, compound growth this week. If you have a 401k, log in and raise your contribution by 1%, or start at 1 to 3% if you haven't yet. Open a Roth IRA if you don't have one. Many providers let you do it online in 15 minutes. Set up or increase one automatic transfer to a retirement or long-term investment account. Even $25 to $50 per month counts. Read the why you're doing this. Freedom later, less worry. More choices for family, and keep it somewhere visible. You've now shifted from just protecting and paying down debt to actively growing wealth. Your money is no longer just sitting. It's quietly building a bigger future for you. Chapter 7. Protecting your wealth, insurance, credit, and smart habits. You've come a long way. Your money now has direction. It's tracked, budgeted, protected by an emergency fund, automated into savings and investments, freed from heavy debt, or on its way there, and growing through the quiet magic of compounding in simple, low-cost investments. That's real progress. Now it's time to build a strong fence around what you've created. Protecting your wealth isn't about fear, it's about peace. It means making sure that one unexpected event doesn't wipe out years of careful steps. Think of protection like wearing a seatbelt. You don't plan to crash, but if something happens, you're glad it's there. The 3 biggest areas to focus on are insurance, credit habits, and everyday smart routines that keep your financial life steady. Insurance, the safety layers you hope you never need. Insurance transfers big risks to a company so a single event doesn't derail your progress. Here are the essentials most people in the US need. Health insurance if you don't have it through work. Explore options on healthcare.gov during open enrollment or with a qualifying life event. Even a high-deductible plan paired with an HSA, health savings account, can protect you while letting you invest pre-tax dollars for medical costs now or later. Renters or homeowners insurance. Renters is cheap, often $15 to $30 per month, and covers your belongings if there's theft, fire, or certain water damage. Homeowners does the same plus protects the structure of your house. Many people underestimate how much their stuff is worth until they list it. Get enough coverage to replace everything at today's prices. Auto insurance required in most states. Focus on liability, to protect others if you cause an accident, plus collision and comprehensive for your own car. Raising your deductible to $500 or $1,000 usually lowers premiums significantly if you have an emergency fund to cover the deductible. Life insurance, only if needed, if someone depends on your income, spouse, kids, aging parents. Term life insurance is simple and affordable. A 20 or 30-year term policy for 10 to 12 times your annual income is often enough. Skip whole life or universal unless you've maxed retirement accounts, and talk to a fee-only advisor. Most people don't need the more expensive permanent types. Disability insurance if you're working and your paycheck is your main wealth-building tool. Short-term and long-term disability coverage matters more than many realize. Check if your employer provides it. If not, individual policies can replace 50 to 70% of income if illness or injury keeps you from working. Umbrella policy once your net worth grows. Savings plus investments plus home equity over $300,000 to $500,000. Add a personal umbrella policy. It's inexpensive extra liability coverage, usually $1 to $2 million, that kicks in after your auto home policies are maxed. Quick tip: review policies once a year. Shop around every 2 to 3 years. Bundle auto and home renters for discounts. Never skip insurance to save money. One claim without it can cost far more than years of premiums. Credit: your financial reputation and a powerful tool. Good credit isn't about borrowing forever. It's about options and lower costs when you do need to borrow, mortgage, car, sometimes renting an apartment. Build and protect strong credit with these habits. Pay every bill on time. Payment history is 35% of your FICO score. Set up autopay or calendar reminders. Keep credit card balances low, ideally under 30% of your limit. Credit utilization is 30% of your score. Pay in full each month if possible. Don't close old cards. Length of credit history matters. Limit new applications. Hard inquiries ding your score temporarily. Check your credit reports free once a year at annualcreditreport.com. From Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. Dispute errors right away. Use credit cards responsibly for rewards or building history. But treat them like debit. Only spend what you already have. A strong credit score, 740 plus, can save you tens of thousands over a lifetime on mortgage interest alone. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Smart daily and yearly habits that guard your wealth. These small routines prevent leaks and keep everything running smoothly. Fraud alerts and monitoring. Place a free fraud alert or credit freeze if you suspect identity theft. Use services like Credit Karma or your bank's monitoring for unusual activity. Update beneficiaries. On retirement accounts, life insurance, bank accounts, make sure they name the right people, and update after life changes like marriage or divorce. Store important documents safely. Keep digital copies, encrypted, of insurance policies, tax returns, wills, and account logins in a secure place like a password manager. Review accounts quarterly. Spend 30 minutes every 3 months checking balances, fees, investment performance, and automatic transfers. Catch mistakes early. Avoid lifestyle creep. When income rises, raise, bonus, side gig, direct at least half to savings, debt, or investing before increasing spending. Build relationships with professionals. Find a fee-only financial planner, CFP, for big decisions later. Use free resources like your workplace's financial wellness programs in the meantime. Teach the next generation. Share simple money talks with kids or nieces, nephews. Modeling discipline is the best lesson. One gentle reminder: protection doesn't mean paranoia. You're not trying to eliminate every risk. That's impossible and exhausting. You're just making smart, calm choices that greatly reduce the chance of big setbacks. Your action step this chapter. Pick 2 protective moves to make this week. Small is fine. Review your current insurance policies, health, auto, renter's home, and note if anything feels undercovered or overpriced. Get one quote if renters or auto seems outdated. Pull your free credit reports from annualcreditreport.com and check for errors or surprises. Set up, or confirm, autopay on at least one more bill to protect your credit. Add or update one beneficiary on a retirement account or savings account. Write down one wealth protection why. Peace for my family, sleep better at night, keep building without fear, and keep it visible. You've now built not just growth, but real resilience. Your financial life is defended on multiple sides. The next steps will help you stay motivated by connecting these habits to goals that light you up, and by learning how to review everything so it evolves with your life. Chapter 8. Setting goals that keep you motivated, short-term wins and long-term dreams. You've built a strong, practical system. Your money has structure, safety nets, automation, growth engines, and protection. That foundation is solid, but without goals that matter to you personally, even the best habits can start feeling like chores. Goals are the why that turns discipline from something you do into something you want to do. They give your daily choices meaning, energy, and joy. The secret to staying motivated isn't forcing more willpower. It's connecting your actions to things that light you up, both the small wins you can taste soon and the bigger dreams that pull you forward over years. When your goals feel alive and yours, motivation becomes natural instead of a battle. Why most goal setting fails, and how to fix it. People often set goals that are too vague: save more, too big, be rich, or borrowed from someone else. I should max my 401k. Those fade fast. Good goals are specific and personal mix of short-term, 3 to 12 months, and long-term, 5 or 20+ years, tied to feelings, peace, freedom, pride, adventure, not just numbers broken into tiny, doable steps reviewed regularly with kindness. Let's build yours in layers. Layer 1. Discover your real why. Take 5 quiet minutes and ask, what would my life look like if money worries weren't in the background? What experiences or security do I want for myself and people I love? When do I feel most proud or peaceful about money? What scares me most about the future, and what would ease that fear? Write whatever comes up. No editing. Common themes that emerge for many people. Sleeping without checking the bank balance in panic, taking a real vacation without guilt or debt, leaving a job that drains them, helping family, parents' care, kids' education, siblings start, retiring early or semi-retiring to travel, volunteer, create, building something lasting, home, business, legacy. Your why is the fuel. Keep it visible, on your phone wallpaper, in your notes app, or taped inside your wallet. Layer 2. Set short-term wins, 3 to 12 months. These are the quick dopamine hits that prove progress is real. They build confidence and momentum. Examples in US dollars. Build emergency fund to $2,000, or add $1,000 if already started. Pay off one small credit card balance, completely increase retirement contributions by 2% of pay, save $1,500 for a special trip or experience, cut one recurring expense, like eating out, and redirect $100 per month to investing. Open and fund a dedicated fun goal account with $50 per month. Make them smartish, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. Example, by December 31st, 2026, I will have $3,000 in my high-yield emergency savings account by automating $150 per paycheck. Celebrate every milestone. A small reward, nice dinner, new book, day trip, reinforces the habit without derailing progress. Layer 3. Dream big for the long term, 20+ years. These are the visions that make the daily grind worthwhile. They don't have to be fully funded yet, just named and pictured. Examples. Financial independence by age 55, enough invested to cover essentials without needing to work full-time. Debt-free home by age 45, mortgage paid off so housing is never a worry. Family travel fund, $20,000 saved for a big international trip every few years. Support parents in retirement, cover part of their monthly expenses starting in 10 years. Early semi-retirement, work part-time or on passion projects by age 50. Put rough numbers to them using the compound growth ideas from Chapter 6. For instance, if you want $40,000 per year in today's dollars in retirement, on top of Social Security, you might aim for $1 to $1.5 million invested by age 65, using the 4% safe withdrawal rule. That number feels big, but broken into monthly investments over decades, it becomes doable. Layer 4. Create a simple goal dashboard. Keep track without overcomplicating. Use a single page in a notebook, a Google Sheet with columns: goal, target amount, current amount, monthly action, target date, notes, or a free app like Mint, YNAB, or even a basic spreadsheet. Update it once a month during your quick review, from Chapter 8 Habits. Seeing numbers move, even slowly, keeps the fire alive. A real-life example. Sarah, 32, single, take home $3,800 per month. Short-term wins, this year. Emergency fund to $5,000, currently $1,200. Pay off last $4,000 credit card, save $2,000 for a solo trip to Europe. Long-term dreams. $800,000 invested by age 55, enough for modest semi-retirement. Buy a small home in 8 to 10 years, build a fund to help niece with college. Her monthly actions feel connected. Extra $100 to debt now, $200 to emergency, $150 to Roth IRA. When she sees the debt drop or savings rise, she remembers the trip and the freedom she's buying. One gentle reminder: goals can change. Life shifts. New job, family, health, dreams. That's not failure. It's wisdom. Revisit your goals every 6 to 12 months. Adjust amounts, timelines, or even replace one dream with another. The system stays. The targets evolve. Your actions step this chapter. This week, do these 3 things. They take less than 30 minutes total. Write your top 1 to 2 why sentences. What freedom or joy would more financial control bring? Pick one short-term win, 3 to 12 months, and write it clearly with a deadline and monthly step. Name one long-term dream and jot a rough target number or feeling. No pressure to make it perfect. Put them somewhere you'll see daily. When motivation dips, read them first. You're no longer just managing money. You're directing it toward a life you actually want. That shift from have to get to is where discipline becomes something close to freedom. Chapter 9. Reviewing and adjusting. Making financial discipline a lifelong friend. You've built something real. Your money now flows with purpose. You track it without stress, live on a budget that fits your actual days, protect yourself with an emergency fund, automate the important moves, handle debt wisely, or celebrate being free of it. Invest simply for compound growth. Shield your progress with insurance and good habits, and tie everything to goals that feel meaningful to you. That's not just a list of tasks. That's a quiet, powerful system working in the background of your life. But life doesn't stand still. Jobs change, families grow, health shifts, dreams evolve, incomes rise or dip. The strength of financial discipline isn't in setting it once perfectly. It's in treating it like a friendship you check in with regularly. A quick, calm review keeps everything aligned with who you are right now and who you're becoming. Think of reviewing like a routine health checkup. You don't wait until something hurts badly. You catch small things early, celebrate what's going well, and make gentle adjustments. Done consistently, these check-ins turn financial discipline from a rigid rulebook into a flexible, lifelong companion. How often should you review? Most people do well with 3 levels. Monthly mini-review, 15 to 30 minutes. Look at the last 30 days and glance ahead. Quarterly deeper check-in, 45 to 60 minutes, every 3 months. Zoom out a bit more. Annual big picture reset, 1 to 2 hours, once a year. Reflect on the whole journey. Let's walk through what each looks like. Monthly mini-review. Keep the engine running smoothly. Set a quiet time, maybe the first weekend of the month or right after payday. Ask yourself these simple questions. Did my income match what I expected? Any bonuses, side income, or shortfalls? Did my essentials stay within budget? Any surprises, car repair, medical bill? How did enjoyment spending feel? Satisfying or creeping too high? Are all automations still working? Check that transfers to savings, investments, debt payments went through. What's the current balance in my emergency fund, debt, and investment accounts? Did I hit, or move toward, my short-term goal this month? Then make tiny tweaks. Move $50 from enjoyment to debt payoff if you're ahead. Trim one small subscription if spending felt loose. Increase an investment transfer by $25 if you got a raise. End with one small appreciation. I stuck to my plan this month, or I handled that unexpected bill without panic. Gratitude locks in the habit. Quarterly deeper check-in. Zoom out and recalibrate. Every 3 months. Add these layers. Update your net worth, total assets, savings, investments, home value if you have one, minus total debts. Watching this number climb, even slowly, is incredibly motivating. Review investment allocations. In a target date fund, nothing to do. In individual index funds, check if your stock-bond mix drifted far from your plan. Rebalance if needed by directing new money. Check insurance coverage. Did life change? New baby? New car? Moved? Adjust policies if necessary. Look at credit. Pull a free report or score. Fix any errors. Revisit short-term goals. Celebrate wins. Extend timelines kindly if needed, or add new ones. This is also a great time to handle once-a-year tasks. Adjust tax withholding if you owed or got a big refund. Max out IRA contributions for the previous year if you haven't. You can until April 15th. Shop insurance rates or negotiate bills. Annual big picture reset. Honor your journey and dream again. Once a year, maybe around New Year's, your birthday, or tax season, give yourself space to reflect deeply. What worked well this year? What felt hard? How has my life changed? New job, relationship, health, family. Do my goals still excite me? Which long-term dreams feel more urgent now? Am I still paying myself first at a level that matches my current income and priorities? What one new habit or goal would make next year feel even better? Update your goal dashboard from Chapter 9. Rewrite your why if it's evolved. Maybe increase retirement contributions by 1 to 2%, start a new sinking fund, wedding, home down payment, sabbatical, or finally open that Roth IRA you've been thinking about. A real example of how reviews keep things alive. Jake, 38, married with 2 kids, take home around $6,000 per month jointly. Monthly, notices groceries creeping up, switches one store trip to meal planning, saves $120 per month. Quarterly, June 2025 net worth up $18,000 from last quarter, celebrates with family ice cream outing, rebalances investments. Annual, January 2026 new baby on the way, increases life insurance, starts $529 college savings plan with $100 per month, adjusts budget for childcare costs coming soon. No drama, just steady steering. 10 years of these quiet reviews turned modest habits into a 6-figure investment portfolio, no debt except a low-rate mortgage, and real choices about work and family time. One gentle truth: adjusting is not backsliding. Life will throw curveballs, a layoff, medical issue, amazing opportunity that costs money. When that happens, pause aggressive investing or debt payoff temporarily if needed. Use your emergency fund as intended. Then rebuild. The system is designed to flex, not break. Your action step this chapter. Schedule your next review right now. Put a 20-minute monthly mini-review on your calendar for the first weekend of next month. Block 1 hour for your next quarterly check-in 3 months from now. Choose a date for your next annual reset. Birthday? New Year's. Then do one quick thing today. Open your banking or investment app and note your current emergency fund, debt total, and investment balance. Write them down with today's date. Seeing the starting point for this new habit of reviewing feels grounding. Chapter 10. Giving Back and Legacy. When wealth starts serving more than just you. There comes a quiet moment in the journey of financial discipline when the focus naturally shifts. You've built awareness, structure, safety, automation, freedom from debt, steady growth, protection, clear goals, and the habit of gentle review. Your money no longer feels like something you have to chase or fight. It feels like a tool that serves you. And when that happens, many people discover a new layer of meaning, using some of that tool to serve others and to leave a trace of good behind. Giving back and building legacy aren't things you do only when you're rich. They're natural extensions of the same thoughtful habits you've already practiced. They don't require huge sums or dramatic gestures. They're about intention, consistency, and letting your values show up in how your money moves through the world. Why this stage feels different and good. Up to now, most of your financial energy has been inward, protecting yourself and your loved ones, creating options, reducing stress. That's healthy and necessary. But once those basics are in place, a new kind of satisfaction often appears. Giving becomes a source of joy rather than sacrifice. Legacy thinking gives your efforts a longer horizon, beyond your own lifetime. People describe it in different ways. I want my kids to see that money can help, not just buy things. After years of scraping by, it feels powerful to be the one who can say yes to someone else's need. I'd like the work I've done to ripple out in some small, positive way. These aren't obligations. They're choices that add depth to financial discipline. Starting small, everyday ways to give back. You don't need to wait for a big windfall. Small, regular giving fits beautifully into the systems you've already built. Automate microgiving. Set up a monthly transfer of $10, $25, or $50 to a cause you care about. Many organizations, local food banks, animal shelters, education programs, accept recurring donations through their websites or apps like DonorBox. Treat it like one more automatic payment, after savings and investing, before enjoyment spending. Roundup giving apps like Acorns or your bank's Roundup feature can send spare change to charity instead of, or in addition to, investing it. Over a year, those pennies become meaningful support. Donor-advised funds, DAFs. If your giving grows, a DAF lets you contribute cash, stocks, or other assets now, often with tax benefits. Get an immediate deduction, and decide later which charities to support. Fidelity Charitable, Schwab Charitable, and Vanguard Charitable are popular low-fee options in the U.S. Volunteer your time or skills. First, giving isn't always money. Mentoring, helping at a community center, or sharing your financial knowledge, teaching budgeting basics to friends or family, builds legacy without spending a dollar. Support causes close to home. Local impact often feels most real. Donating to a school in your neighborhood, helping a family through a tough time, or backing small organizations that do work you see every day. Building legacy. Thinking beyond today. Legacy is simply what continues after you're no longer here to steer it. It can be quiet and personal. Simple ways to start shaping yours. Update or create basic estate documents, a will, or revocable living trust if your situation is more complex. Ensures your assets go where you want. Name guardians for children if needed. Include digital assets, accounts, passwords, in a secure place. Free or low-cost options exist through sites like FreeWill or LegalZoom. Many credit unions offer basic will services. Name beneficiaries thoughtfully on retirement accounts, life insurance, and bank accounts. List primary and contingent beneficiaries. These pass outside of probate and update easily. Review them after big life changes. Set up education or special needs funds. 529 plans for college or ABLE accounts for disabilities let you give future support tax advantaged. Even small monthly contributions grow meaningfully. Teach money habits to the next generation. Share age-appropriate lessons. Allowance systems, saving jars, open talks about your budget. Kids learn more from watching your choices than from lectures. Plan charitable bequests. Leave a percentage of your estate, a specific amount, or a particular asset, like stocks, to causes you value. Many nonprofits provide sample language for wills. A gentle example from real life. Lena, 45, had paid off student loans, built a solid emergency fund, and was investing consistently. She started with $30 per month to a local women's shelter because she remembered hard times in her 20s. Over years, she increased it to $100 per month. When her investments grew, she opened a small DAF and contributed appreciated stock once a year for tax benefits. She also set up a simple will, naming her niece as beneficiary of half her retirement accounts with instructions to use part for education and part for charity. Lena says the biggest shift wasn't the amounts. It was the feeling that her money was doing quiet good even on ordinary days. One important note: give from abundance, not guilt. Giving should feel uplifting, not draining. Protect your own security first: emergency fund, retirement contributions, debt payoff. Many people follow a loose guideline: secure your basics, then give 5 to 10% of income, or whatever percentage feels meaningful, between personal causes and charities. Adjust as life changes. Your action step this chapter. This week, Choose one small way to begin. Pick one cause that matters to you, local, national, or global, and set up a recurring donation of $10 to $50 per month. Automate it like your other transfers. Review beneficiaries on at least one account, retirement, life insurance, or savings, and update if needed. Write one sentence about the legacy you'd like to leave, a value, a lesson, a ripple of help. Keep it with your goals from Chapter 9. If you're ready, research one simple estate planning step, free will template, beneficiary review guide, and bookmark it for your next quarterly check-in. Giving and legacy work best when they come from gratitude for what you've already built. You're not just managing money anymore, you're directing a resource that can touch lives beyond your own. That's one of the deepest rewards of financial discipline.